This is the nature journaling lesson, and in this lesson, students will make their own journals and learn about historical nature journalists, and they will write and draw in their journals to observe the natural world at Suez and develop a greater sensitivity and awareness towards nature. So through this lesson, students are going to be able to name 3 historical naturalists who kept journals, provide 3 benefits of keeping a nature journal, and record their observations on paper through writing and drawing. To introduce this lesson, you can introduce some quotes from Index 1 of your lesson. So the point is that someone had to write down these quotes so we could remember that, which is why nature journaling is beneficial, because people can look at your nature journal and remember things you said. Activity 1 of this lesson is the historical naturalist activity, and you're going to want your transparency of the historical naturalists or the colored pictures of them. You want to emphasize their importance to nature journaling and their contributions they have made to it. Activity 2 is the memory game, and what you're going to need is your natural objects, and you're also going to want a sheet to place over them. Explain to students that they are going to get 30 seconds to look at the objects and remember as many as they can, and then they're going to try and draw or write these objects. The third part of this lesson is making the journals. So each student is going to need 2 pieces of cardstock, which will be the covers of their journal. Then they will need 6 to 8 pieces of white paper for the inside of their journals. And each student will need a stick and a rubber band. The final product of the journal looks like this. The rubber bands are going to go around the stick to hold it together. The next part of the lesson is going to be all the different journaling activities. So there's a lot listed in the lesson plan, but you're going to want to choose about 5 to complete. One journaling activity you can do with your students is the natural alphabets, which you will want to use the butterfly alphabet poster for. And what it is students are going to be looking for different letters of the alphabet in nature, and then they're going to draw them in their journals the way they see them. Another activity you can do for this lesson is the partner drawing activity, and each student is going to find a partner and they are going to stand back to back. They can switch roles, but one student is going to find a natural object from outside in Suez, and they are going to describe that object to their partner while their partner draws it. The activity, painting Suez with a word brush, you are going to have your students pretend that they've just dropped out of the sky and they have no idea where they are, what time of year it is, or anything. So they are going to look around them and try and find clues to help them solve the mystery of where they are and what time of year it is. For the sound map activity, you are going to instruct students to place an X on one of their sheets of their journal paper, and they are going to place dots or symbols where they hear sounds around them. John is going to show us his sound map that he has right now.
That's a bird.
For the new perspectives activity, students are going to choose a natural object. It can be living or non-living, and they are going to put themselves in the shoes of that object and describe what that object is seeing and feeling. For the close-up drawing activity, you're going to want to give each student a hand lens, and they are going to trace the circle of the hand lens 4 times on their sheet of paper. And they are going to go around and use their hand lens to look at objects up close, and they are going to draw that object up close in each of the 4 circles, so 4 different objects. For the treasure walk activity, you are going to take your students on a hike through Suez. You are going to want to walk slowly and have them pick out memorable objects from their hike. They are going to record those objects on their map and then share them with a partner at the end of the activity. For the graffiti wall activity, students are going to work together in a group. You're going to spread out a large sheet of paper, and they are going to write messages from the non-human things at Suez. For the Brainstorm poetry activity, you are going to want to pick one aspect of Suez, such as this pine cone on the ground or this beautiful red pine tree right here. Students are going to call out words to describe this object that you have chosen, and you are going to want to write down the words they say on a sheet of paper. Later, students can arrange the words to create their own poem. The free writing activity is a great way for students to reflect on what they have done during this lesson. Encourage students to write or draw what they're feeling right now. To conclude the nature journaling lesson, you can encourage students to share their work with each other. This can be done through partner sharing or small groups. It can be done through circle sharing as a whole group, or you can do it with a talking stick. After completing this lesson, students will be able to name 3 historical naturalists who kept journals. They will be able to name 3 benefits of keeping a nature journal, and they will draw and record their observations in their own nature journals.